So, have a good life. We will see you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
President wrote a very generous letter. It's because it was private. I'll talk about it until I talk to him, but it was generous.
The duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's happening, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. A very, 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 very special day for us all, because this is where the real ERNauguration is happening. And I actually want to bring him, our president-elect, forward right now. And we actually are going to do the swearing in first thing, because this nation cannot last any longer under this current regime. Isn't that right, Jay?
Absolutely. It's time for healing. It's time for butt licking, and it's time for unity.
So without further ado, come here, buddy. I bring the urn.
And his thickness.
And his thickness. Mr. President-elect, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Here, let's get him in position. He's going to take the oath of office, and he's going to be swearing on the book, How to Live with a Huge Penis. So, Ernie, are you ready?
I can't believe he's been living this whole time with a huge penis.
All right. So, Ernie, I'm going to ask you to place your hand on the book. And wait, is it left hand or right hand?
It's right hand. And then
right hand. Okay. Right.
Yeah, right hand on the book, left hand up in the sky.
All right. This is
going to repeat after me.
Right hand on the right paw on the book. And Ernie, repeat after me. I, very good, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
fearless,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter. So help me, dog. Congratulations, Mr. President. He is here. Let's give it a round of applause for Ern. President Ern. Now,
this is the day America became America.
This is the day America became America. Congratulations, Mr. President.
The diversity, the freedom, just the all-round decency that is now back into the United States is just
the unity.
There's no word for it.
The unity is strong. He is going to unite. He is going to unite this entire country. Already the best president ever.
Oh, I know. And I hope his first executive order is to deport your ass.
Oh, it's already deported.
Oh,
he's going to have to rip up the Constitution and send me out of here.
Already keeping his promises.
Already. But Habibis, now that that's out of the way, I want to draw your attention to a very, very special I don't even know what to call it. We're going to celebrate in ways that only is deserving of the 45th president of the United States. And on the Habibi Bros store, you can own a piece of history. But we have a whole line of merch. We got mugs, masks, stickers, towels, blankets, and T-shirts, all of our 45th president of the United States. So, Habibis, we got we actually got a little promo here. If you follow the bottom, if you go to habibibros.us and use the promo code MyPresident69, all lowercase, MyPresident69, you get 10% off your purchase. And honestly, this shit is so good. Let's just actually, you know what? I already have it up here. Let's take a look at this logo.
Every dollar goes towards the deportation of Siraj.
Yep. Yeah, let me get there we go. The 45th president of the United States. So it's just so good.
We can finally be proud of our country again.
Finally. He's made America earn again. So, Habibis, congratulate this president. He'll give an inaugural address later that involves deporting me.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So, all right, Habibis. Well, now Ernie's going to sit in my lap for a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and get on with the show. And I see a little super chat here. Abe Eckstein. Thank you, Abe, for Siraj for the best account on Twitter. I appreciate it, but it's really Jay. Jay is the funniest fucking dude on Twitter. So he inspires me to get better. So
as long as I don't get banned.
As long as you don't get banned. But when you do get banned, it's the funniest fucking thing ever.
I know. I think I get more I get more notifications on the account the day it gets banned than when it's actually live. It's fucking hilarious. Because when you get banned, you can still get the notifications and stuff for just a little bit, like throughout the whole day. And you can still see all of the people tagging me in different tweets. What's really funny is that I was looking at my very first account earlier today, and I actually can scroll through all of the old tweets I did. It's still up.
Oh, really? They're still up? That's amazing.
Well, it's still up on the account if I sign into my account and look at my timeline. If anybody else tries to go to it, they can't see anything.
That's so good. That means you have to send me, because in addition to obviously all of your accounts, I have a definitive record of every single J tweet, but it's taken out of context. It's out of context, J. I think it's at OOC Mujahed
Kobbe or something like that.
Yeah, but there's so many accounts. It's so good.
I'll send you some screenshots of it. But there's 81,000 tweets on that account before it got
81,000
in 2 years.
Oh wow!
From 2016 to 2018, then it got banned.
Wonderful. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So, Habibis, obviously, today was the 59th presidential inauguration. And I don't know how many people tuned in. I watched because I had to for work. But I think a lot of people just did not give a shit. Did you watch it, Jay?
I did not. I didn't give a fuck.
Of course you didn't. But if you did watch it, first of all, it was very much, I mean, it was milquetoast. There was like, when you watched the Trump inauguration in 2017, like you were it was a made for TV moment, because everything about it was just so wild and crazy. Like, how is this actually happening? And it's almost the thing about it that kind of irks me, and we'll get into it a little bit more, is kind of just all around how the media sort of treats these sort of things. And I think what bothers me the most is that they're like so happy to get back to like politics as usual, and like everyone being polite, and everyone trying to, like, I've seen so many times, like we're going to talk about obviously the first press briefing, the White House press briefing, but like just the response to that made you think, oh God, we're going to get 4 years of like just absolute, simping for the Biden administration from just the media.
Complete, unedited, uncensored dick sucking right into the American households. And it's going to be It's going to be CNN sucking the shaft while you have MSNBC rimming the asshole. That's what you're going to be seeing from now on in press briefings. And it's really hilarious when they're saying like, oh, we can finally go back to decency when, I mean, yeah, Trump was an asshole and he was pretty much a, not, you wouldn't be calling him decent in any sense of the word, but it wasn't like it was all, butterflies and flowers in politics before Trump even became president.
Yeah. I honestly, so like, obviously Trump is not a decent guy. I think everyone who was a fan of his politics could at least concede that he's not like a good person.
Right.
But the thing is about Trump is that like, for the most part, he was honest about how he wasn't like perfect, but like a typical politician would cover that up by being a typical politician. They'd be slick, real smooth with their words. And Trump's just a buffoon. Like he's just goofy and just like says shit and then thinks later. And that's what like got him into heaps of trouble all the time. That's what ended up basically inciting an insurrection and a riot at the Capitol. So, I mean, it's just that Trump's biggest issue is he's never thought before he's actually said anything. And
right.
I feel like journalists in particular are almost over the moon in glee about the prospect of just like not being insulted by the president of the United States every day. I will say this. They put themselves in a very bad position, the media, because they've all made themselves to be sort of like these resistance journos where they've like been adversarial with the president. And then like, I guess we'll get into it now with the very first White House press briefing with Jen Psaki. And, she's being all polite. She's being very nice and everything. And I think the very first tweet I saw was like how it wasn't it was like so refreshing for the president to or for anyone. Oh, this is it. I'll show you. This is the tweet. Come on, let's go. Add it to the stream. News. There was a press conference just now at the White House where someone answered questions and didn't call reporters enemy of the people. Just like they always got to make it about them. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Like it was never about you. But like in the last 4 years, they made everything about them. And I feel like they're going to have the hardest adjustment to make to not make everything about them.
Oh, it's going to be very, very hard for them because they could play the victim every single day and then pretend like they are holding the powerful accountable. And because they were like that so aggressively, that now we're going to watch them completely dismiss anything the Biden admin does. We're going to watch him completely overlook anything that he does in the same kind of way or anything that can actually mirror what Trump did in any way. Mm-hmm. They're going to totally just brush it off.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't that big of a deal, but they made it such a huge deal during the Trump admin. And that's the little box they put themselves into, that they're these firefighting heroes, and we're going to just watch exactly what they actually are.
Yeah.
Complete garbage pieces of shit.
Yeah. But there is some upside because as much as like journalists like to basically pat themselves on the back, there will be a crop of journalists that actually take this time to be serious and like actually do some legitimate reporting rather than just being like getting into tit for tat with the president, whether it be in the White House press briefing or whether it be like, anytime outside of that, because it's not like Biden's going to legislate from Twitter. Like that's just not, that's not his MO. So things will be different. Maybe calmer in a sense. I mean, for someone who has been trying to obviously cover President Trump objectively, call balls and strikes on things that he does well and doesn't do well. I will say that it was a very chaotic time, but this is the time where I think Jen Psaki is like, they're going to try to be very transparent. Look, the Obama administration said they were the most transparent administration in U.S. history. Obviously, that wasn't true.
I mean, journalists would like to believe that that's 100% true.
Essentially. Now I got to open this. You know. And just FYI, Mickey, I'm not naive. I've been there. I've covered the Obama administration, but that was my very early days of covering his. Those my early days of journalism, and I started to see as soon as I started reporting that the Obama administration was far from perfect. So I'm going to look at. I'm approaching it from an angle of healthy skepticism, where I'm obviously trying to give President Biden and Vice President Harris a chance. But I know that there are going to be a lot of times where they're going to fail. And so the thing is obviously to make sure that when they do fuck up, which will happen,
Right.
That the people who are so easy or so quickly calling out the Trump administration, not calling out the Biden administration, you got to keep obviously that level of consistency up. Anyways,
but we know we're not going to see the same type of rigorous reporting, the shouting, the downplaying, or like disrespecting the press secretary or any of that kind of stuff like we did these 4 years. You know, like Jim Acosta's already talking about how he's going to go do something else now. How?
Well, yeah, because he got reassigned. He's not covering the White House anymore.
No, I know
But that's per CNN's team.
Right. Why isn't Jim Acosta?
Why is it Jim Acosta? Because he's a shit reporter.
He really is. I fucking hate that guy. I hate all of them. But you're gonna.
Yes,
that's what
I mean,
saying.
look, I agree, Mickey. The media won't hold them accountable ever. I think there are people that will. I think there are people who are black-pilled enough to understand that, you know, if they were liberal or progressive beforehand, that they are. I would hope that there are enough journalists out there, not saying all of them, but enough that would actually hold the Biden administration's feet to the fire. And those will be obviously the cream. Those will be the reporters, the cream that will rise to the top. Mm-hmm. You know, they should at least be acknowledged for their efforts in trying to hold the Biden administration accountable. People will probably cast them off as being, you know, conspiracy theorists or conservative shills or hacks, but I'm sure a lot of them are probably liberals and they just actually, you know, even progressives, and they think it's important to obviously hold every administration accountable. So,
yeah, I mean, we're already kind of seeing any kind of reporting, any negative reporting that's happening with these Biden stories, or passed it out as a right-wing conspiracy. They did it with anything that came out with Hillary. They did it with anything that was going with Obama, and it works out. I mean, it's insane that when was it, like 2016 or 2017, when that report came out from, I think it was Politico. I forget where exactly, but it was more of a liberal publication that came out showcasing how bad the Obama administration did with like Hezbollah, mm-hmm. and how they overlooked a lot of things in order to appease Iran. And you don't hear anything out of it. It came out, it was reported on for a couple of days, and then it's gone. Nobody presses on those facts at all. And then you already have the Biden administration that's going to come in and undermine everything that they've done in the Middle East to go back to appeasing terrorists and Iranian government. And you're not going to see anybody coming and asking these questions. You're not going to hear them ask these questions. They had this. They changed their Twitter handle saying the ambassador of Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. So this is a good question to ask him. So Gaza, do you know who runs Gaza? Do you want to be an ambassador to the governments that run the type of governments that run with Gaza, that have actual policies that they want to kill all Jews and stuff? That's a good first question to ask these people.
Yeah,
In
I
my
actually thought
opinion,
it was the other
I think
way
that's-
around, but I thought it was the switch the other way around, which I thought was puzzling. I was like, that doesn't seem like the Biden administration. And then it clicked in my head when you just said it. Anthony Rivera, thank you, Anthony, giving us a very, very nice donation. So who's the poor soul that has to mop up the floors and clean the stained paints of all the journalists? Like, what the hell happened today? Do they think none of us saw that near pornographic display of simping today? No one learned a damn lesson. That's true. No one learned the lesson in the last 4 years. Thank you, Sarah Jacobs. I hope CNN folds and Acosta reduced to vlogging on OnlyFans. That would be justice. that would be interesting. So the inauguration ceremony itself, pretty boring. I listened to Trump. I'm sorry. Well, I listened to President Biden's inaugural address, and fucking Chris Wallace said it was the best thing he ever heard. There was nothing memorable in it, honestly. Like Biden was calling for unity, but that's like almost every single president
after the election
inaugural address. Maybe without. Look, I think Trump made a plea for unity during his his victory speech after he won the election, election night. But his tone obviously shifted quite a bit during his inaugural address, which everyone focused on. And that was about blood and carnage and shit like that, which was kind of dark, but he was focusing a lot on law and order. And it was just, it was all in all a very, very interesting and weird day. But today was weird for the other reason. Today was weird because everyone was sipping so hard for Biden. You had reporters basically congratulating Biden in his walk up Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House as he was running towards them and shaking their hands. And I think there was Al Roker and then another reporter. And I don't know if he was I don't know if these were friendly reporters in the sense that they were, outwardly liberal. I mean, Al Roker, he's a weather guy. I mean, he's not, he's a weather guy. He's not sitting down interviewing presidents. There's another reporter that he went up to. But there was another aspect of it. So you can also tell basically on the level of celebrity engagement that were present at this inauguration. You had Lady Gaga singing the national anthem. You had Jennifer Lopez, who is a proud proud Latinx woman who sang. I can't remember what she sang. She sang some patriotic
from the block.
She didn't. What's weird? I'm really sad about this. And Jay, I'm sad about it because this hits you the hardest. Is that she didn't sing "Booty," which is obviously best hit to date, simply because of the subject.
100%.
Essentially. And then you had Garth Brooks performing. I don't remember what the fuck he performed either, but he gave George W. Bush a big hug. It just was it's sort of a reminder of just how much people who were so opposed to everything the Trump administration had done is basically going to go back to brunch. There's some who are the work's not finished. And they probably have their head on straight because they understand that now's the time to get to work. But even if we disagree on political stuff or philosophically, some of them are just not going to sleep. But a lot of America is. I think I saw a tweet from Farhad Manju. I actually want to find this.
Oh yeah, that was the perfect.
It's the perfect tweet. I think Kelly Norton tweeted out very good.
It's the best indication of what exactly we're going to expect from journalists.
Yeah, let me
for these next 4
years.
years.
You can kind of see exactly where a lot of their heads are at, and it's mostly up their asses, but you can at least get a sense of where they're at. Come on, where are they? I definitely let me go to my profile real quick. Let's read this comment from Abe Eckstein. I think the reason why, thank you, Abe, obviously for the donation. Appreciate it. He says, I think the reason why the media is simping so hard is because they feel responsible. If he fails, they will own this mistake if it doesn't work out. That's possible. Certainly wouldn't rule it out. God, where the fuck is it? I just saw it. Please tell me they didn't delete it.
No, he could have.
Oh, no, it was Natalie Johnson. Sorry. Natalie and Callie are both friends, and I messed it up. Sorry, Natalie. This is the tweet. This is Farhad Manjoo. You can see right here. It says, "Yay, back to a boring president I can ignore again." Like, see, there's the fucking problem. If you can ignore them, you probably shouldn't be covering politics to begin with. This guy's a fucking Farhad Manjoo is a. Oh, I'm gonna show that later. That's so good. Farhad Manjoo is a writer at the New York Times. Like, this is fucking absurd. Let's just make sure I get that right.
He's an opinion writer for
opinion writer. Yeah, he's an opinion columnist at the New York Times. Like, you don't have the luxury to ignore a president. If you're covering politics and if you're writing an opinion column at the New York Times, the paper of record, you don't have that luxury. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Well, I mean, now
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, now with the new wave of journalism that's coming through, it's not only that he has the luxury to do that. It's if you can't make it a race issue either, then there's no reason to cover it.
Yeah, that's true. Here's another tweet from Edward Isaac Dover, who's at The Atlantic, writes, "One of the simple, enduring images of the day, Kamala Harris's hair blowing in the wind as she took the oath. No one with longer hair, in other words, a woman, has ever taken the oath of office outside the Capitol before becoming the first woman to ever do it." Thank you for spelling that shit out, Edward Isaac. Jesus Christ. What else we got? There was another one. Alex Michelson says, "Not sure if this is a sign or just a coincidence, but moments after President Trump was sworn in back in 2017, it started to rain. Moments after President Biden was sworn in, the clouds cleared and the sun came out." And then Matt Visor, which this is a stretch, but I could see sort of the emotional attachment there. But Matt Visor's tweet is still weird. But let me read it for you. He says, "Joe and Bo." Oh, I actually have something. I actually have a banner over it. Let me read it. "Joe and Bo used to watch an eagle soar by the dock. Now, when Biden steps to a lectern, he will be greeted by a presidential seal. It features as its most prominent symbol a bald eagle, a reminder both of what he has accomplished and what he has lost." Like, god damn, bro. Like, that's just... way to sully his son's memory by using that stretch. Like, it's just, I feel more embarrassed for him that he used this because it's just unnecessary. So, anyways,
it's also like their need to showcase why they got a degree in writing. It's because they can like visualize and write these amazing little passages that have so much fucking like meaning and all this type of bullshit. It's so sickening. It's so fucking... If you simp for a politician this hard as a journalist, I don't know what's scummier. I honestly don't know what's scummier.
Nah, I don't know either. Atomic Playgirl, thank you for inauguration expenses. A very nice amount. Rachel Kaplan, thank you. Read my reply to Matt Visor's tweet. If you can drop a link in the chat, I can pull it up. In the meantime, I really want to show you probably my favorite tweet of the day, which I only discovered about maybe an hour ago. And that's this. Look at that. Look at the Chiron says President Biden departs for Arlington National Cemetery. And his reply is, "Well, I thought he lasts longer than that."
That's the perfect tweet.
It's so good.
Oh my God. It's absolutely wonderful.
Luckily, it got the attention it deserved. The almost 23,000 retweets, over 224,000 likes. That is just perfect. Anyway,
that's a good thing to bet on.
I will say. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I am thinking what you're thinking.
Oh shit! What is it you're thinking?
So let's bet on how long until Biden actually dies.
Oh God!
And Harris becomes
Well,
president.
why can't we?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Can we like pull it back? Can we say like how long until Kamala Harris is president?
Okay, so like if he retires,
So if he resigns,
literally, and like
we're not going to
retires,
mention the dreaded.
resigns.
We're not going to
Okay.
we're not going to mention the dreaded D word, but we're going to say, let's just say he is out of office.
Okay, out of office.
Out of
Okay.
office.
All right. I like it. I would say I give it 8 months.
You give it 8 months?
8 months.
I give it 4 years.
4 years.
I think he's going to last 4 years.
You honestly think he's gonna last 4 years? He's all right. I give it 8 months. You give it 4 years. What are we betting on? I would say loser has to dye their beard purple for a week.
Purple after Kamala Harris's outfit today.
Exactly. And dedicate it to Kamala Harris. And you have to have your pronouns used for that week. You have
to do what?
Your pronouns. You have to change your pronouns for a week.
To what?
Ass.
Just that?
Just that. Just ass.
Just put ass, pronouns ass.
Ass. That's it. For a week. With the purple beard.
With the purple beard. Let's hope to God I'm not still at the Examiner by the time that happens. You got yourself a deal. And Habibi's obviously make the note of that. Anyways, Billy Finn, thank you, Billy. When Rachel does a super chat, I pause it so I can stare at her. Next level simp right here.
I know.
Rachel, I'm looking for.
I think Brian Stelter and CNN are taking notes on how to simp properly because honestly, nobody does it better than Billy.
Rachel, how did you send the link? Did you send it on here on the YouTube chat? YouTube comments maybe?
Did we miss it?
Did I miss it? Let me check. I'm checking right now. Give me a sec.
Bro, I'm going a little ham on Twitter right now too on these journalists as they're doing their articles and tweets about the Biden administration. I'm surprised I haven't. I mean, some people we just found out that Bruce got banned for less than what I'm tweeting.
He got banned already?
Yeah, he got banned. He's suspended, and it's for calling them a whore.
Wow.
And he got banned.
Interesting. You know, for some reason, I'm not seeing it, Rachel. Maybe try DMing it to me on Twitter. My DMs are open. Just shoot it over to me, and I'll pull it up. In the meantime, Habibis, as we wait for Rachel, I feel like there are a lot of really forced memes today. Bernie Sanders sitting in the middle of the crowd. I don't know if you saw that. I made one, very ho-hum Muslim meme out of it. And it was really just focused on how Biden started his speech and didn't even say Bismillah beforehand. I mean, that's the first sign that Sharia is not coming right away.
No, it's not Sharia, but Islamophobia.
It is legitimately, literally Islamophobia.
It's just, I can't believe it. I thought we got rid of it. I thought we got rid of the Islamophobia that we're going to be facing, but not right now.
Yeah.
Inshallah, Ern will save us.
Inshallah. Wait, so let's see. Dan says, yo, can I just talk about how much money I got to collect today off of Brainlets who bet me that Trump wouldn't finish a full term? Wow. And the follow-up there, I've made $800. Holy shit. Congratulations, Dan.
That is fucking amazing.
That's fucking great. Congratulations to you. Spend that money wisely. Don't spend it on us. Spend it nicely. He says, shout out to my high school AP government teacher for the $100 he bet. Amazing.
Fucking
That's
dumb.
great. You should. I wish I made those bets.
Mhm.
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about betting then.
I could've- Man, I have so many like real hard libs that I know personally that honestly thought that he was going to be arrested for Russia collusion, that he was going to be in handcuffs and taken to jail. In like
yeah, it
6
was
months.
like it was basically fantasy porn for all of them.
It's amazing. It's amazing just how fucking deluded they are.
This is the tweet. Let me remove the banner so we can see here. So this is the Joe and Bo thing.
Oh, I was tagged in it. I'm sorry, I didn't. I don't know if I saw it.
Wow, Jay, you're fucking awful. Rachel says, "Love of rimming." Oh wait, hold. B. Taylor, love of rimming was clearly ahead of its time. Look at all these journalists jumping on the bandwagon. Perfect.
Oh, there it is. Oh no, it's not. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Okay, so obviously in Biden's inaugural address, he calls for unity. Will his actions meet his words? That's highly unlikely because there have been a lot of pushes from the left to try to go to war with basically everyone on the right, and there's been a lot of sweeping, generalizing statements that have been made by a lot of powerful people on the left. Like you have Hillary Clinton, the 2016 Democratic nominee, on her podcast asking House Speaker Nancy Pelosi if we need to open a 9/11 commission, a 9/11 style commission to essentially
100%.
go after everyone who is floating disinformation or conspiracy theories or calling into question the election results that led to the January 6th Capitol riot / insurrection. And it's at that point you're just like, there's a lot of fucking, I mean, like the insurrection was fucking awful. And, I think everyone has denounced that. Of course,
Right.
there are people who still think it was fine or think that, that Trump supporters weren't capable of it. But still, like this level, I mean, go after the people who broke the law, but it sounds like they're trying to extend that to like basically create a police state.
That's exactly what they're trying to do, and they're going to get
the tweet now. But go ahead,
they're going to get help with that from Twitter, and they're going to get help from Facebook and stuff. It's not that they're worried about these QAnon people and spreading misinformation. If they were worried about it, they would have stopped that for 4 years with Russia collusion, with pushing that that Russia stole the election, with the riots and the destroying the property and all that kind of stuff. They wouldn't have praised it and pushed more.
Oh, holy shit. I was way off. This is the tweet. She says, Speaker Pelosi and I agree. Congress needs to establish an investigative body like the 9/11 Commission to determine Trump's ties to Putin so we can repair the damage to our national security and prevent a puppet from occupying the presidency ever again.
So they're still on
about Russia.
She's still on the fucking Russia stuff. And nobody who's talking about how they want truth or anything like that is mentioning this or talking about this.
It's fucking wild.
It really is. They're just as fucking delusional as any QAnon person out there.
I mean, according to the reports I've seen today, apparently Pelosi was walking that back saying we don't need a 9/11 style commission. But like even just the suggestion of it, like, come the fuck on. Russia is now their biggest geopolitical foe. It's China. And I realize saying that makes you sound like a conservative because basically anytime someone has criticisms against China, it's like almost being pigeonholed. It's like you must be a conservative if you're criticizing China. Whereas like if you're liberal, you got to be criticizing Russia. It's just like we can criticize both. It just so happens that like it's almost become like a reputation that's been built up by the two sides almost.
Right. But it's really funny that this doesn't destroy democracy, but anything that ever came out of Trump's mouth did.
Yeah.
And it just really goes to show that the hypocrisy between the two is undeniable. The bias is there. And we're going to see a lot of it this this year. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to have more to do with people like us on things like YouTube and podcasts and stuff like that are actually going to be talking more truth into what the Biden administration is doing and going through than the New York Times or the Washington Post or the fucking Atlantic for that matter either. And that's the reason why they want to take people out. They're going to come after a lot of people on Twitter, and they're going to come after a lot of YouTube channels.
Yeah, and I think the biggest issue that people forget about is the role of big tech in all of this, because, you know, I don't know how many of the people have like been sort of following the whole Cyberpunk 2077 debacle, but if you actually had a chance to play the game, you know, governments have basically been governments in that time were replaced by global corporations, so they're calling the shots. And it seems like we're heading down that trajectory where like global corporations, the Amazons, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the Apples, they are dictating what we can and cannot do. And I think the fault of us is that we've just let this shit happen. And it's unfortunate. Abe Eckstein, thank you. Abe says the journalists will have a fatwa against them if they say anything against Hillary. Well, I put her on the list, and she hasn't Epsteined me just yet. So
not yet.
So, but yeah, you know, for all the times you've been banned by Twitter and you've always come back, there is obviously something to be said about the level of sort of censorship that big tech engages in when it comes to wrongthink or, you know, expressing views that go against the grain or just so mind-numbingly shocking to people. Not even dumb, just shocking to people. People just can't handle it, whether it's true or not. It just can't like exist in a vacuum. So like Twitter's got to ban, you know, 70,000 QAnon accounts, and whether QAnon's full of shit, and and we're about to destroy them in the next segment. But even just letting them have even a platform is too dangerous. And I get it. QAnon is probably a bad example, but they're basically the first domino to fall, because you move that needle just a little bit, you ban QAnon, what's the next group that they would target? People who probably voted for Trump that don't maybe actually sympathize with QAnon, but maybe say doubted the results of the 2020 presidential election. Maybe they thought that the election that the election was stolen from them, or that they think Joe Biden's an illegitimate president, much like many people on the left did after Donald Trump won the election in 2016, thinking that Russia had something to do with it. It's just complete, you know, it's a complete reversal. But it's just how the status quo, these big tech companies actually address it. They think it's a giant crisis now that these people are expressing these views, as opposed to when the left was accusing, or Trump critics or the resistance was accusing Donald Trump of basically being a Russian asset. It was Trump who had to basically be held to account. And it wasn't like, how dare you express that conspiracy theory? You know, we're going to ban you off this platform. No, it was fucking parroted by everyone. The mainstream media, big tech, all the politicians. It got investigated. They couldn't find any evidence for it through a 2-year Mueller
millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I hate going back to that, because like it makes you sound crazy to some people to think that Trump was not a Russian asset. But he fucking wasn't. The evidence doesn't support that he was. And even if look, if we are going to assume that the Trump campaign colluded with the Russian government to tip an election, surely they would do a better job than what they did, even in the 2020 election.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the Trump campaign from 2016, they were the most incompetent group out of the whole bunch. They couldn't do shit. Like they were so incompetent because they didn't have the people who knew what they were doing. You had George Papadopoulos and Carter Page handling their foreign policy and trying to basically handle a Trump campaign where Trump was the star. And people constantly talk about how like, oh, Trump's so dumb, like he can't like do anything. And then on the other, they talk out of both sides of the mouth. They say that one thing, that Trump's so dumb, and they're like, oh, but he's definitely a Russian asset and colluded with them to tip a 20 presidential election. Like, you can't have it both ways.
How could Hillary lose?
Yeah, but
it was the most amazing thing to watch him, because the mainstream journalists that are now calling every QAnon crazy, whoever is questioning any kind of legitimacy towards voting or mail-in voting, a QAnon conspiracy theorist, we're right around the corner, saying that Russia came in and changed the votes for Trump. Like, yeah. How do they not think that they sound just as crazy?
Yeah. Forrester Mike says Twitter didn't only ban QAnon accounts, they banned a bunch of mainstream conservatives and dissenters. I mean, they banned the president of the United States, for one, the sitting president of the United States at the time. Whether they allow him back on, that's a whole other story. We'll see.
And honestly, if they don't think that other governments are going to take action when they did something like that, they're fucking kidding themselves. They're fucking kidding themselves.
Yeah, even what's her name? German Chancellor Angela Merkel said it was problematic, and it is.
It is for sure. If I'm government in a country, and Twitter came out and banned the leader of another, like the United States, and I'm France or I'm Germany or I'm someone, I'm going to be looking really hard into places like Twitter, because why are they going to hold that power on what voices to silence and what voices to actually promote? So they're going to silence more and more conservative and any left-wing voice that comes out against this administration, and we're going to see that happen more and more. We're really going to see it happen more and more.
Forrester Mike, thank you for Mike or Forrester. I don't know what your first name is. I'm just going to assume your first name is Mike, even though it's spelled the wrong way. Anyways, you say Twitter didn't only ban QAnon accounts; they banned a bunch of mainstream conservatives and dissenters.
Are you already?
Did I already read that a comment?
Yes, you did.
Nate Beebe, thank you, Nate. Says, I'm not a Trumper, but I would love to see Trump drive through New York City on the 4th of July in a Lambo and Melania and a bikini as his passenger. I thought you were thirsty after your Aisha Husni tweets. That's just thirsty, bro.
Oh shit!
So,
but to be fair, that would be fucking hilarious if he did that.
Yeah, I mean, it would be wild. But honestly, I think Trump is happy he's not president anymore. I think he only liked it for sort of the vanity, for being the center of attention, and campaigning. I don't think he liked the actual job, though. I think he hated it.
I do too, and also like all the hate he got with it as well. I mean, he's not a person that thrives or enjoys people hating on him as much as they did throughout the presidency. And now as well, after all of this is done, he's probably telling people that it was not worth it. This was not worth it. He hated it. Like, look at what they're doing to me now. Look at how much they hate me, and blah, 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 blah.
Let's get into more about the Trump presidency and Trump leaving office, because I was going to highlight, I wanted to get to Biden's executive orders, but we can get to that in a little bit, because that's, since we're on the topic, we'll work our way backwards and work our way back up. So Trump left office this morning around 8:30 this morning, went to Joint Base Andrews, spoke in front of a crowd. If you listen to his actual speech, it sounded like he was really defeated. And the way he was sent off, like it wasn't to like the Hail to the Chief, it was like to YMCA. And it was so fucking like, it was like out of a fucking movie watching it, because he walks off the podium to Air Force One in to fucking YMCA, like it's literally it's not the happiest song, but it is up there in terms of like happiness, like
Right.
as dejected as he is. And then as his plane is taking off, the PA system is playing fucking My Way by Frank Sinatra, which is like the perfect ending to the Trump presidency.
Absolutely. Because he didn't change anything about himself whatsoever as he was doing anything. Like it was just so chaotic. But there's like so many memorable moments within it, like you were saying, that had those moments. Like when RBG died, or RGB died, and they had, I forget what they had playing in the background. What was that song that was playing in the background?
It was Elton John's Tiny Dancer.
Yes, Elton John's Tiny Dancer. I honestly, when I first saw the video, I thought that whoever was showing the video overlaid that song on it. I didn't know it was actually playing while he was answering that question.
That was
absolutely insane.
Wild.
And him actually saying what he said about her was really appropriate with that song. Like it was just like insane, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that was a wild moment. I'd say all of my favorite moments came when Trump was engaging with rappers. So you had the Kanye West moment in both when he was president-elect in 2016, but then you had the Oval Office visit in 2018, just like off the wall crazy. Loved every second of it. You had the ASAP Rocky fiasco with Sweden, in which Trump got Sweden to release ASAP Rocky and have him fly home. And then Trump getting really mad when ASAP Rocky didn't thank him. And then you had in the lead up to the 2020 election, you had 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, and Lil Pump all endorsing Trump for president. And my favorite part of all is when Trump is introducing Lil Pump at his rally in Florida. He pronounces it Little Pimp and like has no idea that he's getting it wrong.
Oh God, that was so good.
No, that was really fucking funny to me. But I guess my question to you, Jay, is, and I'll answer this too once I hear what you have to say. How do you think Trump will be remembered?
Well, until the next Republican runs, he's going to be remembered as the worst thing to ever happen, and he's going to be compared to Biden every single way. Get ready for the greatest comeback of whataboutism that you've ever seen in your life from liberal journalists and stuff, especially like Jake Tapper and all these people who were the first ones to be quick on anyone who wanted to compare anything that Obama did and got away with to Trump. And that's what's going to happen. Well, until, of course, you have like Tim Scott or Tom Cotton or another Republican running.
But, the whataboutism is always going to happen. But what do you think? How do you think Trump will be remembered?
Just depends on who you're going to ask. I mean,
how do you think Trump will be remembered?
I think he's going to be remembered. He's going to be remembered as a complete asshole who was indecent and not principled enough to hold office, but did not actually live up to the scary fantasies of the experts and the journalists that they were saying that he was. And that's it. He's going to be remembered as an incompetent asshole who got the most judges confirmed in any first-term presidency ever.
This is the thing about Trump, because I thought he was the funniest fucking guy to ever hold office. The guy's a straight comedian. He's the goofiest president we've ever had. And then in the last 2 weeks, or at least in the lead up to the January 6th Capitol riot, there were just signs that I was just like, not everything's going right. Like he is not he does not strike me as someone who handles adversity really well.
Right.
And maybe that's just sort of like a testament to sort of like his entire life. I don't think he really had to struggle all that much until he became president. And I think obviously history will not look upon him favorably. I think for some of the highs were really high and the lows were just really, really low. I mean, 2020 is the worst year I think we've all collectively experienced on record in our lifetimes. You know, and I think in many ways there was some sabotage there. But I think the biggest problem that Trump had is that he just came in and he didn't have any governing experience. He just didn't know what he was doing. And he surrounded himself with bad people. People were giving him shitty advice and he just didn't know anything. And that's the problem.
He didn't get out of his own way.
You're not going to change a 70-year-old man to like read up on this shit.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's not like Faye says, I'm sorry, but 2020 was not worse than 9/11. I'm not saying 2020 was worse than 9/11. I'm saying as a year, it was probably one of the worst years I think we've all collectively experienced.
Right.
Until we all have a really bad year again. But 2021 obviously hasn't started off really well. 2020 didn't start off really well either. January was like a fucking year in and of itself.
2020 was like, it's the longest, shortest year we've ever seen.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel bad because like someone that funny, I wish would be remembered for being that fucking funny, but what are you going to do? There's another thing. And this is something that has held up with tradition, despite all the other traditions that were broken. In terms of like obviously the I think Jimmy Carter didn't go to the inauguration of Ronald Reagan, and Donald Trump became the first president since Jimmy Carter to not attend the inauguration, or was it Andrew Jackson? I'm trying to remember. I'll let the Habibis basically correct me on this. But Trump did leave a note for Joe Biden on the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. And everybody was like thinking of, what could it have said? Joe Biden said he wasn't going to reveal the contents until he spoke to President Trump himself. And it was Andrew Johnson. Thank you, Crapple Frats. That's a great handle. Andrew Johnson was the last president to not attend. Oh, Jimmy Carter was privately bitter in defeat as Trump, but privately. Okay. Anyways. Oh fuck! Didn't JFK miss Lyndon Johnson's inauguration? God damn! Oh fuck! But with the note that Trump left Biden, what do you think it said? Like, is there anything that you think he actually was, like gracious, or do you think he just fuck off?
No, I don't think he just told him to fuck off. How much I really wish that we saw the most petty thing ever come out of it, and he did just say, "I hope you die in 4 months. Fuck off." But I honestly think he wrote a letter, and he probably just copy and pasted whatever Bush wrote to Obama or what Obama wrote to him. But I still, or somebody else took it and wrote it. I think the most likely scenario is he didn't even write anything, completely forgot to do it, and somebody else wrote it for him and put it on the table.
That's another great guess. I mean, I'm hoping that Biden releases it with the permission of Trump, or Trump just says what he wrote, and hopefully we get to the bottom of it. Just want to point out to everyone, all the Habibis, that the president-elect, I'm sorry, not the president-elect, because he's already president. Hold on. The president is comfortably resting, aren't you, buddy?
Oh, the Habibi. The Habibi of the Habibis.
The Habibi of the Habibis. So, oh man. God, I gotta fix this. Sem or Shem 2756. Thank you, Habibis. I love y'all. A few of the only rational leaning kind of right voices left. Whatever, y'all in my face. I appreciate it. You know, we are moderate, or at least I am. I think Jay is actually just an extremist.
Well, when it comes to ass eating, for sure, 100%.
Essentially. Okay, so despite everything that happened in the Trump presidency, you know, his diehard supporters who were with him to the end, what really blackpilled a lot of them, and by blackpilled, I mean that they basically just lost their love of Trump, was the last minute pardons that happened on Tuesday night. And not to get into all of them, but Trump issued 117 total pardons while in office. Some came throughout the duration of his presidency. But 90 came in 2021, and he also had 89 commutations. Some of the notable last-minute pardons or clemency that he gave out were to Steve Bannon, his former chief strategist, and the I think campaign chairman of his 2016 campaign, who was indicted for embezzling and stealing the money of Trump supporters to build the wall. I don't know how you pardon that. It's just such a dickbag move. You're stealing money from your own supporters, and you're like, I don't give a shit. Here's a pardon.
Right. It's so bad. It's the scummiest of the scum.
It's so scummy. Then you have Elliot Broidy, who I'm trying to remember. I meant to do my research on him, but I know he is a venture capitalist, businessman, and Republican fundraiser. He served as a finance chairman of the Republican National Committee and was convicted in 2009 in a public corruption and bribery case in New York. He got a pardon. Rappers Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, they got clemency. Lil Wayne got a pardon, and Kodak Black got commuted, his sentence commuted. Kwame Kilpatrick, who for pretty much has been like the standard in terms of democratic what's it called, corruption. He is usually used as the example of democratic corruption. Detroit politician. He was a former mayor of Detroit. He had his sentence commuted, and he was actually serving
27 years.
Yeah, he was serving a 28-year federal prison sentence, and then he was convicted in 2013 and started his sentence in that year, and then had his sentence commuted just this week. Then you have some notable snubs. You have Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. Those are the two biggest ones. I think the biggest one, obviously, is Assange. I think there are so many people who are trying to get Assange pardoned because
of the WikiLeaks,
and what he was sort of doing for government transparency and reporting. And there was a journalist link to it. And I don't know if Trump just hates journalists that much that he wouldn't pardon Assange. I'm hearing that there was political pressure for Trump to not pardon Assange, but that lost a lot of his supporters. So, I mean, he also, despite the fact that Trump said that he could pardon himself, he didn't pardon himself. He didn't pardon anyone in his family. He didn't pardon his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. So, Jay, what of all of these, which is like the worst moves that he made here?
Honestly, I think Steve Bannon and Kilpatrick is like,
I agree.
Just reading on what Kilpatrick did and everything, as I was, following up on the people that he commuted or pardoned. It's absolutely disgusting. And Steve Bannon is just absolute scum filth. Like, he is the worst fucking person ever. And I think, like, what he did with Breitbart and stuff, and he's just scum, absolute complete scum, like the most disgusting person ever. And he looks like fucking what's his name, Penguin from Batman and stuff. He's just dumber and uglier. Fucking disgusting.
So Faye makes this point about Snowden and Assange, saying that they unnecessarily burned U.S. assets around the globe, endangering their lives. Just because they were right about intelligence apparatus overreach doesn't change that. Yeah, sometimes it's not about what you expose, but how you expose it. Right. And Assange and Snowden were very reckless in that regard. Look, even there are people on the left and right who don't think that Assange and Snowden should be pardoned or at all, because what they revealed put people in harm's way, revealing sources and methods. And even fucking John Oliver got in Snowden's face about how he managed to fuck up by not having a particular piece of intelligence redacted properly, that ended up putting troops in Mosul, Iraq, in danger. I don't know if any of them got killed, but it was a very serious situation.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there have been a lot of look. The thing about pardon power is weird because it is constitutionally protected under for the executive branch. Just because the president has the constitutional authority to pardon these people doesn't make it any less scummy. Like it feels fucking dirty.
It does. It really does. And the whole time every time these happen, no matter who's president, they always feel, like you said, scummy. It's just disgusting. It's like sometimes you think that they shouldn't have that power when you see when they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are countless people that they could actually pardon that would change their lives. I mean, there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that go into it. Yeah. And Anthony Riviere, have a good night, sir. And
he says,
glad we could make it better.
And y'all really made it better. I'm going to head out and go to sleep for 12 hours. Have a great night, Habibs. Thank you, Anthony Rivera. Toast. Cheers to you. Thank you again for your continued support. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night. And we'll see you next week. Robert Jeffers. Thank you, Robert. Trump also pardoned the California rep scumbags Duncan Hunter and Chris Collins. Chris Collins literally had a "how much to buy me" menu. Happy inauguration. That is true. I keep forgetting about that because it wasn't part of the last minute pardons. He also pardoned Charles Kushner, the father of his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who was indicted and served time for tax evasion. I think
buying a
I think campaign finance crimes and then witness tampering. But the witness tampering thing is fucking crazy because what he did is the witness was actually his brother-in-law. And what he did was he hired a prostitute to seduce his brother-in-law, who was married to his sister. And let's see. The witness tampering charge arose from Kushner's act of retaliation against William Shoulder, his sister Esther's husband, who was cooperating with federal investigators against Kushner. Kushner hired a prostitute he knew to seduce his brother-in-law, arranged to record a sexual encounter between the two, and had the tape sent to his sister, his wife, used as blackmail.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. Like, and I was having a conversation with a friend earlier about that, and all the things that people accuse Trump of being, that's Charles Kushner, in practice. Like he does all that shit.
I mean, that's exactly what you would read it, what you would watch in one of those really cliche fucking soap operas. Just that kind of drama and shit. Somebody hiring a hooker to frame his brother against his, it's just so fucking disgusting and horrible.
So Atomic Playgirl says Jay is definitely not guilty of ass evasion.
Atomic knows. Atomic knows.
That's very good. That's very, very good, Atomic Playgirl. 69 minutes. By the way, Habibs, we're in 69 minutes. Cheers.
Cheers.
I probably have driven everybody on Twitter nuts by my 69 tweets. But
All the schedule. No, that was absolutely fantastic, man. I am happy.
I streamed
so
the what's it called? I streamed the inauguration, and so it was actually a record of me tweeting out the second mark. So like not 420 seconds, but 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and then 69 seconds. Until Trump's presidency was officially over at noon. So, Josh Goldsmith says Siraj tweeted 69 times. Anyways, moving on. QAnon. Just want to close out this part of Trump leaving office because everybody thought, at least most people. No, actually, I don't know anyone who could say it with a straight face that they thought Trump was going to leave office on January 20th. I think there was a lot of people. Who were like, I don't really think he's going to leave office. Jay, what did you think?
I thought he was going to leave office. I didn't think that there was going to be any kind of real fuss. I never thought that there was going to be any real fuss, especially, even after June 6th. I didn't. From day one all the way at the end. And there's a lot of people who tweeted out the same things as well. Very moderate people, like my deadbeat dad who never came back home with milk, Neville. He also tweeted out like that what's going to happen is Trump is going to leave office when it's all said and done on the 20th. And that's what happened. He just left office. That's it. He waved goodbye, went and talked to 100 people out somewhere, and then that was it.
Yeah. Jake M says Bill Clinton here. Let's play Cuck Zone later. It's been a long day for me. I might bail, but Jay probably will.
Why not? Let's do it, Habibi.
Yeah. Anyways, back to QAnon. So there are a lot of QAnon followers and supporters who really thought Trump was going to stay in office and just be president, and that he was going to. This is actually what some of the.
Oh my God! No, the QAnon theories.
Read about them. Absolutely wild. So
my favorite one is
many of them were very despondent and disillusioned by the time that Trump and that Biden actually took the oath of office, as well as same with Kamala Harris became vice president and Joe Biden becoming president of the United States. They're like, wait, this isn't supposed to be happening. What the fuck's going on? And there were a couple of theories that they thought were going to happen. Some QAnon supporters believed Wednesday's inauguration was an elaborate trap set by the former president, Donald Trump, wherein Democrats would be rounded up and wherein Democrats would be rounded up and executed while Trump retained power. And then the fact that it came and gone without incident is crazy. In fact, I was reluctant to even, I think one of my friends saying like, I love how today was completely anticlimactic at like 4 o'clock. Of course, he's liberal. I'm not going to ding him for that. I'm not going to ding him for anything. If you support Biden, I don't give a shit. Like support him, but don't be an idiot. But anyways, back to my point. Like he said it at like 4 or 5 o'clock. I was like, dude, you fucking jinxed it. Now like the day's totally going to get ruined. Like, what are you doing? It's just like that level of craziness because. I knew January 6th was going to be a bad day, and I guess I'm more shocked that it was as bad as I expected it.
Right, as we saw it, I was too. I honestly thought it was going to be just a little bit of people fist fighting and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it did get a little bit out of hand, but it's also to me what happened on the 6th is not the exaggeration that the journalists really want to make it out to be.
How do you think it's exaggerated though? Because I might actually push back on you because I was here.
Well, because I don't see it as it was a planned insurrection by Trump to try and overthrow the election.
So the point you're making is that you think the sticking point is that it was planned.
Yes,
I know. The debate is that you don't think it was planned, Trump, and you think they think it was planned. That
Trump planned and wanted this to happen exactly as it happened.
Got it. So that is up for debate because I'm not entirely sure where Trump stands on it because there is a part of me that thinks Trump didn't have more police presence on Capitol Hill because he didn't think his supporters were capable of it, of storming the Capitol and causing a riot, because they're his people. Why would he think about them? Think about them in that light. Or the other part of that theory is that he did think they were capable of it, and that he didn't want to have that much security there, so it could happen easily. So there's that part of that theory. I don't know what to say really about it, because I don't know what's in Trump's head or in his heart. But I think there's a part of Trump as well, in which he thinks that, he thinks he doesn't have any influence, and he doesn't think like he can inspire his supporters to do bad things. Like, I'm sure like that's the level of sort of like malignant ignorance that he probably has.
Right.
So I think Ernie wants to get out of the room. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, you have to go to the new president. All right, Habibis, lay it on me. I'll get you on, Dan. I do like laying on some body butter. That's always fun. Oh no, it's not a Jesus. It's the forbidden fruit. You know, you're not supposed to eat ass. But yeah, Baron, I did. And honestly, the riots in Portland or in Seattle and stuff, we're going to see everyone who tried to downplay Antifa. If these things still go on, we're going to watch them flip the narrative on what Antifa is. It's fucking, we're going to see that flip flop so easily. No, he does not force Mike. Biden does not sufficiently represent the ass-eating demographic. Not in the slightest. Anyone who uses malarkey can just, no, fucking nerds. Let's get it, Wiser.
All right.
I will, sir. I will. Oh, there we go.
Dan says, Jay, when Siraj comes back, talk about how Kwame Kilpatrick ordered the Detroit police to murder a stripper he hired at the taxpayer-funded party at the mayor's mansion. Holy shit, really?
You should see this new this tweet that that Fallen Knight 243 tweeted at us. It's really good. It's basically whenever a new Habibi follows me or you, and it's with your scheduled tweets. And it's really good. It's fucking hilarious because I retweet all of them. So
where is it?
You should see it in your here. I'm sending it to
private chat.
DMs. Yeah, DMs. It's so good.
Oh, you sent it to me. Okay. Check it
And
out.
what I love about it as well is he made the Angels Envy emotes in it as well.
Oh yeah, this is so. This is the one.
It's essentially 100%.
It says whenever a new Habibi follows Siraj Hashmi or Branson Taylor, is literally
every scheduled tweet you did.
And it's all me. It's not even you.
No, I just retweet them.
No, I know, but it says or Branson Taylor.
It's because I retweet every one of your scheduled tweets. Of course.
I appreciate that. I can't retweet all of yours, which is why I put them in out of context Mujahed Kobbe.
I know that's when I know you like to tweet.
Yeah. Because people see that shit, and that could put me in trouble. Anyway,
I don't hold back.
So real quick on Kwame Kilpatrick. So there's an unsolved slaying of a stripper by the name of Tamara Green. And she was rumored to have danced at a never proven party at the Manoogian mansion in Detroit. And it grabbed headlines for more than a decade, led to a lengthy legal battle, and became fodder for a play. It was actually the subject of the podcast Crime Town. And Green was fatally shot several months after rumors of the party at the mansion where she supposedly danced. Green's family claimed in a lawsuit that then Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick sabotaged the murder investigation to protect himself and his then wife after Green was attacked at the alleged party. The party has never been proven, and no one has ever been charged in Green's killing. It's a challenging, let's see. Yeah, I guess there's just a lot of competing narratives to it. So that's an interesting one. Yeah, fucking wild. I love true crime in a way that you can never fully prove that it happened or didn't. Anyways, we're actually nearing the end here. So QAnon, I think we got all of them. They're all, we hope that because everything that didn't happen with QAnon, that they just basically, it fades into oblivion and people stop trusting the plan.
I hope, but we know that the cults always find an excuse to keep it going.
It's true. The grift does stay strong for some people. I mean, you see it on Twitter all the time. QAnon is a cultish grift. So,
oh shit! I'm looking at it, and Ern is behind the bar, and I honestly thought it was a loaf of bread. I'm not even lying.
Over here?
No, behind the bar in the meme. You didn't notice? I thought it was just a loaf of bread.
Oh my god! Oh, that's perfect. Let me get the banner down. Look at that, right in the bottom right. That's so good. I love how people meme Ernie in there.
It's so good. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He is our president. May Allah bless him and keep him. Okay, so to cap off this episode, before we get into questions, speaking of trusting the plan, there is obviously a big plan by the Biden administration to now undo everything that happened within the Trump administration.
Right.
Today alone, President Biden signed 17 executive orders or did 17 executive actions, a mix of a bunch. First of which he implemented was a 100-day mask mandate, which we'll see how that ends up going. I'm hearing there's going to be a lot of, micromanagement of the states. And I can only imagine, Jay, you will never be allowed to take off a mask again. But then again, neither will I, because I'm in Virginia and they're both controlled by Democrats.
I will always be wearing this one.
Yeah, be wearing that eat more ass, which you can find on the Habibi Bros store at habibibros.us. Again, use the code MyPresident69. That was such a good segue to a little plug right there.
It was.
Anyways, so other executive orders. We're going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord, which the United States officially left on November 3rd, 2020. So after making the initial announcement, the U.S. never really got out of it until the end of basically the election day in 2020. We're rejoining the World Health Organization. And get this, Dr. Anthony Fauci is going to lead the U.S. delegation. So there's your reward, Fauci.
I think it's the most dumb thing ever to see this happen. Once we see everything that's come to light from the World Health Organization and how completely messed up they handled this, especially with the Chinese the Chinese government and actually covering for them. I don't understand why we're rewarding an organization as that.
Like that. It's fucking stupid. It makes the world.
It makes no sense. It needs,
especially
to get out of it. Like all of the other countries that were hit hard by it need to get out of it. It needs to be flushed out of existence. Same thing with the fucking UN. But that's another rant.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in terms of the actual like World Health Organization, they had the worst tweet of 2020 because they said that coronavirus could not be transmitted from person to person.
Right.
Of course, they're wrong about that, but I also think that they were taking the Chinese Communist Party at face value. Other things, Biden ended the travel ban, which, to be honest with you, I thought the travel ban ended a while ago. It was like going to happen for 90 days, and like it was just,
and then it stopped.
Yeah, but apparently that didn't happen. So he ended that. The Keystone XL pipeline, that ended, and you know this, Jay, that Justin Trudeau wasn't too thrilled about that.
No, and the thing is that you're already seeing that he's already cutting jobs. He's already going to make sure that we're going to have a higher petroleum costs and stuff. And you're seeing that our neighbor isn't really happy about it either, because it's going to take jobs out of Canada too.
Yeah, but I mean, first of all, fuck Canada.
Regardless. For sure. Fuck Canada. Fuck Trudeau. All that kind of stuff. But it's really funny watching that everyone who was idolizing Trudeau for criticizing Trump are going to be really silent over whatever Trudeau is going to say about Biden.
No, it might be. I mean, they will be.
We know they're going to be. Yeah, so this is a great bet to go for.
A couple of super chats. Michael Guino, thank you. Michael says, I maintain Jay's theme song is Baby Got Back. You think it is?
You missed Rachel's.
What was Rachel's?
She was saying that my theme song is Peaches.
Oh, shit.
By the presidents of
Sorry, I did miss it. Sorry, Rachel. Rachel, thank you. Jay, I think your theme song should be Peaches by the presidents of the USA. Okay, thanks. And then I maintain Jay's theme song is Baby Got Back. So we guess we got to do a Twitter poll.
We do. Yeah. We're going to have to play each song and put it through. And
we'll make it happen.
Trying to find out
Faye,
which one is going to be
so much. Faye, Habibi.
I think, honestly,
next Wednesday when I have surgery, I suspect I'll really appreciate this group in the coming months. Well, Faye, we wish you luck during your surgery, and let us know if there's anything we could do.
And anyone who can spare a prayer or thought or anything to Faye, we love you, and we are hoping everything's going to come out okay with your surgery.
Okay. Other things that Biden is reversing. He ended the 1776 commission. This is supposed to combat the 1619 project that Trump set up, but he set it up on like the last day.
I know, the last day of his administration.
It's just completely symbolic. Like it was never going to go anywhere.
Right. And I think it's stupid for government to be into anything with education. And it's the same thing with the fucking 16 whatever 66 project from the New York Times and shit. Anything that the government wants to put into your education is sus as fuck and should not be pushed. Really is. That's why the Department of Education needs to be dismantled and destroyed, because you do not want government into the education of your kids. They fuck up everything. So why are you going to let them fuck up your kids? Like, that makes no sense. You're a stupid, horrible parent if you think that the government is really out to look what's best for your kid. Fucking stupid as shit. And you should have your kids taken away from you.
I love how you just go to the extreme. You should have a bullet put in your head and your kids taken away from you. What else we got? The census now has to include non-citizens, so that includes undocumented immigrants or green card residents,
illegal aliens,
or visa card holders. What'd you say? What did I said? Undocumented immigrants. You said illegal aliens.
Yes, sir. Same shit.
Should I say Latinx then?
I mean, sure, but I would not all Latinx are illegal aliens, but
no.
I
just meant like
whatever, Siraj.
Stop saying the word. Should I say Latinx now because I want?
You want to keep yourself.
I'm going to be the leb here, the token. So also construction for the border wall that ended. Immigration enforcement that's ended, or at least expanded immigration enforcement, like the level of Trump. And then undoing Trump's regulations. So those are some of the key reversals right there. We'll see what else Biden does, but that right now is sort of where we're at. So, of course, executive orders don't mean everything, but they do mean symbolically where the administration is heading. And most importantly, they that's where their priorities lie. And I think it's safe to say that they would love it if Trump was never president and undo basically everything he's ever done. But they simply cannot do that. I mean, if they moved, say for example, if they moved the U.S. embassy from Jerusalem back to Tel Aviv, that'd be saying something. However, we saw, as you just noted earlier in the episode, with the U.S. ambassador to Israel Twitter handle changing from U.S. ambassador to Israel to U.S. ambassador to Israel, West Bank, and Gaza, like they might do it. We'll see. I have no idea. What does that mean for our geopolitical relationship with Israel? What does it mean with our relationship with the West Bank and Gaza? Are we going to basically send money and pallets of cash to terrorists like in the Iran nuclear deal? I have no fucking clue. But if Biden is anything like his predecessor or his former boss, Barack Obama, anything like that is on the table. So
right. And it's a typical Democrat ideology is that the more money you throw at a problem, the faster it should be able to get fixed.
Yeah, it's like you think that money's going to get you out of trouble and money's going to like appease people. No, you're just creating basically a gravy train.
Right. I mean, did Iran stop giving money to Hezbollah and Hamas and all that kind of shit to kill innocent people?
No.
Nope.
Not at all. It's fucking stupid. All right, Habibis. Now it's time for our favorite segment. Ask us anything. I already see a few questions right now I want to get to. The first one from Forrester Mike. Siraj, do you consider what happened on the 6th to be a coup attempt? I have serious trouble believing that these LARPing losers actually had the intention or capability to take over the government. All right. Intent. There's intent versus capability. Did they have the intent? I believe they did. Did they have the capability? No, I don't think they did. Because there's been obviously a lot of talk in the lead up to the January 6th, the Electoral College certification in Congress, and how it was going to be basically a day of civil war or a massive day of unrest. So was the intent there? I think it was. I don't think any of them have really the capabilities of doing it. However, I will say if security was not present there, mob mentality is a real thing. And I think it would be very, very easy that if there was not security there who was there to secure both Vice President Mike Pence and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, that those two, there's a pretty strong chance that they would probably either be dead or mortally wounded. Pretty strong chance at that. Taking over government, that's a whole other avenue that I don't think they would even be capable of. But I do think they would be capable of killing people because, as you saw, they killed a police officer and they had no problem beating the shit out of other cops. So that's that capability, and that's what I think was the real danger. So what do you think, Jay?
I think you are correct in thinking that if they actually got to the Senate floor, we would see.
Well, if they get to the Senate floor, now I'm saying if they got to the actual politicians themselves, if they got to Pelosi, if they got to Pence, they would actually they would harm.
That's what I meant. Sorry, that's what I meant. Like when because everybody, I didn't know if they're at the Senate floor or whatever, but if they got to where the politicians were, they would either terrorize the fuck out of them, or they would really injure them almost to the point of death, if not kill them. We would have seen that for sure. I think we would have seen that with no questions asked if we had a mob around them like we saw against the police officer that got killed. We would see it. These people are very disillusioned. They honestly believe that they were fighting for something righteous and stuff. And when you have those type of things mixed together, you have people flying into buildings.
Yeah.
It's some scary shit.
That's scary shit. Prison Mitch, who makes all the baller ass memes, and you should check out his Patreon. I subscribe to it. He puts all his memes on there. Supporter brother. He says, "Can we all take a moment and cheer those assholes at the Chinese embassy in the U.S. getting suspended from Twitter? Fuck yeah. And I can no longer put them on the list. So RIP Chinese embassy in the US. But still, go fuck yourself.
Right. Fuck these pieces of shit.
Let's see. What else we got? Josh Goldstein says, wait, I thought we were supposed to make nice with our allies. Apparently not. Let's see. Going through more questions. Rachel says they are not moving the embassy. I don't think they will.
No, I don't think they will either. If they do, it's really going to show us exactly where they line with when it comes to Israel and what they think of Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough that they were given the money to Iran.
Yeah. Ronnie Rock says, how long before we're back in another war? You know, that's a great fucking question. I don't know. You know, this is the thing. I feel like some countries take advantage of sort of the perceived niceness of Democrats as a weakness and use that to sort of poke the bear. And I don't think we're going to initiate another war unless we're attacked first. And while we were attacked under a Republican administration and George W. Bush in one of the biggest terrorist attacks we've ever had, we did have Pearl Harbor under a Democratic president. And I think the intelligence sharing before 9/11 was so piss poor that they had to basically expand government to ensure nothing would happen in terms of intelligence sharing again, that there wouldn't be any hiccups there. Because it's largely the failures of our intelligence apparatus and not really the fault of any Democrat or Republican administration. I think the Clinton and Bush administrations failed to see the warning signs ahead of the 9/11 terrorist attack that resulted in the way it did. That changed basically the world forever. And the one thing that really bothers me or worries me is that because of transition here between the Trump and the Biden administrations had a lot of hiccups, is that you're going to run into any gaping holes within our intelligence apparatus that, while I don't like the intelligence community, they do catch some terrorists. They may not catch them all, like Pokemon, but they catch some. I mean, they didn't catch me and Jay, at least.
Not yet, but that reminds me.
They're probably watching right now. I see you.
No, the best Pokemon opening song is the Arabic Pokemon opening song. It is absolutely fucking big. It's so good.
Nick says, did we start the 100 days to stop the spread yet? I think today was the 100 days to stop the spread, day one, and everybody's not wearing a mask. I didn't see Lady Gaga wearing a mask. I didn't see Biden's kids wearing masks.
Exactly. Biden's kids weren't wearing a mask either. And it's so amazing how people just ignore that kind of stuff, but were adamant to point at it anytime they could when you saw a gathering of Trump supporters. It's these things that people don't forget. People are not stupid. They don't ignore this thing. It's not like they're going to just not see how biased you fucking people are. I'm getting kind of tipsy, bro.
Yeah, so Billy Finn says, by definition, it was not a coup attempt, what happened on January 6th. I actually don't describe it as a coup attempt. I say it's either a riot or insurrection. By definition, an insurrection is a violent uprising against authority or government. So hard to make the case that it wasn't an insurrection at the very least. Shivan Patel says, can the Habibis get me to 69 followers on Twitter? That'd be very nice. Habibis, go follow him at Shivan S. Patel.
Shivan
S. Patel.
Shivan S. Patel.
Robert Jeffers says the ambassador says the ambassador title got pushed back. Well, that's good to hear. President says we should do a start the spread campaign for ass cheeks for Jay.
Fuzzy's mom would be the spokeswoman.
Hell yeah. Rachel says a bunch of UFO files did get released. I need to fucking find those. I actually really want to do an episode of hashing it out on the UFOs, but hadn't had the chance.
Get Joe Rogan on.
Actually, so this week is episode number 68. Next week. Almost
nice.
Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday is episode 69. Get ready for it. We're on episode 40 here. This is episode 40 of Habibi Power Hour. So it'll be hopefully summer by the time we hit episode 69, in which case we could hopefully have Habibi Khan.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Nate Beebe says, saw this on Twitter recently. If ass wasn't meant to be eaten, then why is this between two buns? I feel like I saw that because of Jay.
No, I think Ishar sent it to us.
Ishar. Poseidon Pro says, my question is, are we pretending the FBI wasn't monitoring the groups that did this? Every third militiaman is an FBI plant, and they got caught with their pants down. Look, there's a strong case to be made that a lot of these groups are probably have a lot of FBI agents infiltrated in them. And I'm sure there's a lot of entrapment schemes too, because it happened following 9/11 with a lot of these radical Islamic terrorists who were looking to commit terrorist attacks and ended up basically only working with FBI agents. So I could totally see it happen. In fact, I could see the FBI doing that almost exclusively, or focusing most of their attention on sort of right-wing, white supremacist extremists who are looking to wage a civil war. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Proud Boys was simply an FBI front. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Atomic Playgirl says, do presidents even know all about UFOs, etc.? I think Trump knew. I think Obama knew. I think the information was so powerful that getting it out would set this entire society ablaze. You think? I want to know the UFO shit.
I do too. I mean, and it's just one of those. It's one of those things that would really flip everything on its head. Yeah. In my honest opinion, like, I'm in the thought of, I forget who said it, but we're going to have this. This is how we get full control of a one world government around the world, is that there will be an alien attack that is going to wipe out like 90% of the world, and the left of the humanity that fought back and got rid of it is going to be the one world government under that control. That is what's going to happen.
Sorry, Jay.
Alex,
I'm seeing. Oh, fuck. This is like the time where I like tune out for a second to look at something else.
Agenda 2069. That's exactly what it is, Michael.
Which one?
What I was just describing of what's going to happen.
Yeah. This is it. None the Wiser says, what if the 69th episode is on Wednesday, June 9th? I actually just looked at it, and it would actually be our 60th episode. So we gotta fill
9 more episodes,
like 9 episodes in between. So we might have to do 2 a week
until we get there.
Yeah, we might have to figure out a way to do 2 a week for the foreseeable future, so we can get the 69th episode on
6-9.
Yeah,
we can do it.
I think
we could think of something like we could do one episode where it's going to be like this, news of the week, and then one episode is like review of the week of like pop culture shit.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I want to start doing a live thing on Premiership games, but I don't think you'd ever be up at 6:30 or 4:30 to watch it. Well, 5:30 your time. Wouldn't it be 5:30 your time? No, 11:30. If it's on 8:30 my time, it's 11:30 your time.
8:30 a.m.
Yeah, my time.
Yeah, it'd be
So like
11:30 a.m. my time.
I think you'd be up for a game or two.
Yeah. So Gretchen says, do bonus episodes on days where major things happen. Yeah, I think we got to start doing that.
Yeah, we can do that.
But so far, every major thing that's happened in 2021 has been on a Wednesday.
Right.
We got Capitol riot,
insurrection,
inauguration.
Shit.
Jesus.
It's fucking insane. It's so crazy because there's nothing else to talk. Like when we do the show, it's like there's nothing else to talk about except for the insurrection. Nothing to talk about until
we're gonna have to figure it out. We'll figure something out. We're gonna have to come up with like specific topics where we only talk about that one thing.
Yes.
We'll find something. Anyways, Habibis. I think that's going to do it for us tonight. I appreciate you all. Jay appreciates you all. I don't know if you're going to play video games. I'm going to sign off because I've been working all day. I've been up since the earliest I've been up. I think I was up before 8 a.m. to be honest with you, 7:30 in the morning. So
that's early for you. I was up at 5. I'm up at 5:30.
Oh, go fuck yourself, Jay.
I don't even need the alarm. Like I have the brown in me from the Arab side that I get up at 5:30 every morning.
Yeah. Oh, Michael's up in here. What's up, Michael? Did y'all report on my new deadlift max? No, we didn't.
I did retweet it. Mashallah. This beast did 505, this motherfucker. Absolutely amazing. I've been on his program for almost 2 months now, and I'm liking it. I mean, you guys saw me without my shirt on last week or the week before.
Unfortunately. It had to be the week before that. I don't think we got into you taking your shirt off after the Capitol riot.
Right. I think it was before that.
Yeah.
It was before that.
Yeah. But what so Michael hit 505 on his deadlift max.
That's fucking insane.
Fuzzy chiming in here. Here's the top, Jay. Suck a fat one.
No worries. I'm going to be sucking your mom's left tit later on tonight.
Nice. Anyways, Habibis, love you all. Thanks again for joining us on Habibi Power Hour. Don't forget, check out HabibiBros.us. You can get promo code MyPresident69, 10% off on all your purchases, and get some of that President Earn merch. Right after this, Earn is going to be changing his avatar. It's going to be fucking glorious. Can't wait for you all to see it. And don't forget to join the Discord. I include the link in the description, as well as Jay and my Twitch channels. So you can follow links there. When we stream, it sends you a notification on your phone. If you follow us, you don't have to subscribe. You can. You don't have to, though. So right. Habibis and Jay, when he streams, we got to get him. He's now a Twitch affiliate. We got to get him to Twitch partner. That way he can make even more money. So let's all collectively try to watch Jay's streams, even if they're fucking garbage.
Or filled with gay porn.
Or filled with gay porn, which there was once. But other than that.
A ban of 3 days.
But Jay,
love you all.
Thanks again. Love you. I'm
Siraj Jay. I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
Or the Habibi Bros. Habibis, thanks again for joining us on the Habibi Power Hour. We'll see you next week. Peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Peace.
Peace.